puts that guy on the phone and tries to tell me what to tell him and shit like that. Like,
remember,
and I'm like, yo, dude, I don't want to do this. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, so everything that I've signed or done, I've been under duress. You know what I'm talking about?
yes, I
like
know.
putting like someone's holding a gun to my head and fucking making me do stuff.
Yeah, so they're holding a gun to your head and making you attack me.
Yeah, exactly.
Unreal.
Nick Diaz dropped a video. Shout out to BBJ Ninja Recovery. I think it's like the Diaz brothers. I don't know, not a nutritionist, but like a physiotherapist. And he always posts these updates. That's where I always get them from. And yeah, Nick Diaz said, I'm currently working on my health and I'll be home soon. So let's just watch it real quick.
Hey, I'm Nick Diaz. I'd like squad and moving deal on my family to take care of my house. I'm currently focused on my health and I'll be home soon.
So I'd like Squatter Squad and some names he mentioned to take care of my house. I'm currently focusing on my health and I'll be home soon. He's looking, he looks a bit like quite a bit better. Obviously, he probably hadn't showered and shit like that, but he looks a lot better. I'm gonna keep it a buck. He looks a lot better. He put weight back on. He looks normal again. And yeah, hopefully he does come home soon. But aside from that, it sounds like he got squatters at his fucking house, bro. He got squatters at his house, and I think it's his ex-girlfriend. I think it's his ex-girlfriend. Let's take a look real quick. Because a few weeks ago, BJJ Ninja Recovery was posting all kinds of stuff about her. He was pissed off at her. Here it is, right here.
Days promise to hold on. Me and my dogs.
Here's just a little video he posted of Nick. And he said, your real homies will never turn their back on you, my brother. I woke up this morning feeling grateful to have met you and your younger brother. We became lifelong trusted friends. Thank you for all the things you taught me and the life journey you have shared with us. All I can do is pray to see you get better and always do my part. We'll always have you and your younger brother's back in bad or good times, my boy. I will see you soon, my brother. Okay, so this was 2 weeks ago. And then before this, he posted a few things. So let's just go into it from the beginning. Okay, so here is another thing from Nick Diaz's girlfriend, this K209 ex-girl. She was posting fake news about him, if you guys remember. Saying Nick was being held hostage in rehab and all this stuff. That was fake news. She was trying to, I don't know, get someone to get him out so she could kick it with him. BJJ Ninja Recovery shut all that shit down. This was like a month ago I'm talking about, but this is some new shit she's on right now. And BJJ Ninja said, you know what it is. If you don't know, now you know. I got 99 problems, but a crazy broke ex ain't one. Holy. So shit, I guess we should just read this. Yes, there was Nick versus Kayla without Nick's permission. His mother and his cousin Ruben, whom he hadn't seen in 10 years, filed a restraining order in SJ County, typed it out and signed Nick's name to it. They did this to use as an eviction tool to get me out of his house while Nick is away. I did hear Nick say Ruben. in that video. We can go back to it in a second, but if you want me to read between the lines here, Nick gave permission to his mom and his cousin Ruben to get her out of the motherfucking house that she's squatting in. Okay? And here's her posting on her story saying, Nick's mom and cousin signed an eviction notice without my permission. So here Nick is in the video saying, nah, you guys have my permission. And Squatter Squad basically take care of my house. Get these people out of here, right? AKA this girl, K. Typed it out and signed Nick's name to it. They did this to use as an eviction tool to get me out of his house while Nick is away. But wrote it out impersonating Nick exactly like they were Nick, as if it was Nick speaking directly about me with a sworn affidavit that she signed too. After Nick's mother called the sheriffs with a fake domestic violence and I was arrested because she told them it was her home, untrue, and also filed a false report and said that Nick was living at the property even though he was in the facility 800 miles away. Nick did not give her permission to take me out of the home, or make these calls. SJ sheriffs came with a dozen SUVs with guns and canines looking for Nick. If Nick was here, he could have been harmed in a standoff. All because she lied and then gave them permission to break my door down, and I went to jail over fraudulent paperwork, and because the SJ sheriffs couldn't find Nick and didn't do their job to get a hold of Nick. Melissa cost me $4,000 to bail out, and I had to call the sheriff for a wellness check and search the whole house for Nick because they still believed he was inside the home. All of this could have been avoided if the SJ sheriffs did their job and was in contact with Nick directly. Those orders said Nick Diaz on them, and they didn't protect Nick. Then they hired an attorney that fraudulently represented Nick, and in the courtroom, Nick on the phone wouldn't speak to him to his own attorney hired by his mother and Ruben, and made it clear that I'm his girl and to leave me alone. All of this wasting Nick's UFC check and money to attack me and lose. All orders were dropped on me. There is no restraining order. Nick and I are fine. I am back home and I've spoken to him directly. We are together soon. So she got back in the motherfucking house, bro. Just, I don't want to make too many speculations or assumptions until I confirm that Nick is giving permission to Ruben and his mom, which I'm 99% sure of. But it's just like, you really think that Nick's mom is not going to have his best interest? You're kidding me, right? Of course Nick's mom has his best interest. Of course she does. Let's look what else is on here. Okay, I'm not all over social media. Nick gave me instructions from day one to get Kayla and her dad out of his house. By the way, he is losing his house because of them. His instructions, get Kayla and her dad out of his house. So I asked him to do a video saying so, and he did. She threatened him with arrest if he returned to his own home. I wrote down everything he told me and had him read it and sign it via a notary. They saw him on video sign it. Also, multiple witnesses were there watching him sign it. They can provide statements. 3, the only reason the unlawful detainer was dropped was because Nick changed his mind, and the restraining order was dropped as well because he changed his mind. He is the one who signed onto both of them initially. I made sure of that. 4, most of what she posts is nonsense. 5, I contacted her for months when Nick first got into rehab and called her, and she refused to answer her phone or talk to Nick. She has been invited down to see him personally. Every time I called, she didn't answer. She didn't care about Nick until Nick wanted to kick her out of his house. The whole idea of kicking her out was Nick's idea. This is from Nick Diaz Army on Facebook. I don't know if it's his mom or Ruben, but I'm assuming it's one of the two. And again, that video that surfaced of Nick strung out on like heroin outside on the street, lighting pieces of grass on fire, shirtless and shit like that. Rumor has it she posted that, talking about Nick's girlfriend. Now, Nick's girlfriend and her dad is squatting at his house. On top of that, Nick did change his mind about the restraining order or something, so I think she was let back in. Because it says the only reason the unlawful detainer was dropped was because Nick changed his mind, and the restraining order was dropped. Dropped as well because he changed his mind. So Nick changed his mind about pursuing his ex-girlfriend or whatever. Or his current girlfriend. He's going back and forth. Nick can't make up his damn mind about this girl Kay. But if you know Nick, if you're a true fan of Nick, you know that Nick lost a girlfriend in like a car accident or something like that. So Nick, he a broken dude. So with women, I think he got some, detachment issues maybe because he got trauma from back in the day. Let's see what else is on here. Six, she was sleeping with 2 of Nick's friends. Minimum. And Nick was with a girl named Emily and called her his girlfriend to his parents on the phone. So it must be this guy, Ruben. He was with Emily prior to getting into rehab because Kayla was sleeping with a friend of his. Damn, how toxic, bro. 7, I was told me Kayla had videos of him to blackmail him. Also, he told me she was disgusting to him and he hadn't slept with her for years. He also asked me to get back his social media platforms, therefore the restraining order. Dude, this is confusing. He also asked me to get back his social media platforms, therefore the restraining order. I wrote out what he told me. 8, everything I did was on point to attempt to get him away from this woman when he wanted that. I did not sign anything for him. Nick changes his mind constantly. One day she's his girlfriend or fiance, and then he bangs some girl in rehab and calls another girl his woman, and that he wants to have a child with another woman, not Kayla. This is a circus, people. Damn. I think this is that Ruben dude. And Nick, you're not supposed to be fucking having sex in rehab, homie. But shout out to that fucking blonde snow bunny you were with, because she was kind of bad, low key. Kayla is a part of it, and this is why Nick's in rehab. He even says she was the reason he was in rehab, that if he knew how to get back his house on his own, that he wouldn't be in rehab or ever been on drugs as much as he was. There's 2 more posts to look at. Dear Kayla 209, here's the caption. The hard truth / reality is you are cooked, burnt, and we wish you well. Go away already. Damn. Okay, so here's what she said. Look, I've also been Nick's girlfriend / fiance / wife. He calls everyone that, LOL, for 10 years. Gosh, Nick, you stop doing that. I will keep my identity private because one thing Nick was good at was protecting me. And over the last 6 years, he especially wanted me protected from Kayla. So this is a different girlfriend. He was living with me a while back and in a rehab treatment, but left my house and the treatment the second Kayla found out where he was. I have visited him in the current rehab facility he is in, which, by the way, is the best thing for him and the best I have seen him in years. After the hugs and the catching up, the first thing he mentioned was, is Kayla out of my house? How much longer? How do I get my social media back from her? Then he went on to tell me all the things he was working on, but that's none of y'all's business except the part where he mentioned how Kayla is manipulative, how she blackmails him, how he can't get rid of her, how her dad threatens him, and how crazy the whole situation was, and reminded me he wanted me away from all that. I've kept my mouth shut for a very long time. So here's the last one. Okay, so let's read the caption and then we'll read the post. BJJ Ninja Recovery says, posting for a family member / advocate. This squatter # dumb bitch just won't stop her campaign. Some people are so lost in touch with reality, there's no reason to record a conversation during a recovery session while in rehab and post on social media about Nick Diaz, personal life, and mental state of mind. I believed this is harmful than good in helping my brother Nick to heal and move on to the next phase of the program. This woman who claims to be Nick's fiance and wants to have a baby with Nick and Martin, who is Nick's former roommate, wants to be in a happy marriage. This woman is delusional and needs heavy medication or need to get off drugs herself. All of Nick's family and friends just want to see Nick to get better. Those of us helping Nick want nothing in return. All we want to see is Nick to live the life that he deserves. Please keep supporting and pray for my brother Nick Diaz. All right, and here's the last thing that she wrote, I guess. Nick's calls recorded by Kayla is a crime. Recording all of Nick's therapy sessions, which is protected health information, recording calls without his consent, in addition to making Nick look bad due to his changing emotions while in rehab. She failed to release his words that make her look real quick about that, in addition to making Nick look bad due to his changing emotions while in rehab. That might be why she's recording it, because Nick be telling her he loves her one day and then calls the cops and gets a restraining order on her the next. So she's like, you're confusing the fuck out of me. You tell me I'm allowed to stay at your house, probably calling me your wife and shit like that. Then the next day you don't. So I'm finna record these calls so that when the cops come, I'm not gonna get, kicked out of here and be homeless because you keep telling me I can stay here. That's just my read on that part. Okay. Nick is obviously kind of, has something to do with this. Anyway, she failed to release his words that make her look bad and tell a different story. And I got information that he's pissed that she's releasing his therapy sessions where he's on the phone with her. You can see on the call she's baiting him. Only a narcissist would record calls of a therapy session and bait the patient. You definitely shouldn't be recording the therapy sessions. You should only be recording something if it confirms you're kind of allowed to stay at the house. But yeah, health information, that's private. You can't be doing that. Nick is confronting his past and trying to make sense of it. That's the reason for the calls. Nick asked her to stop posting, and she posted, "Fuck your Mexican rehab." Kayla helped him to relapse. Ooh. Damn. Kayla helped him to relapse. That's fucked. Thank you, Kayla, for relapsing Nick and ruining Nick's reputation. Nick really appreciates that you listened to him. Damn. Nick really appreciates that you listened to him. Oh, Nick really appreciates that you listened to him. Being sarcastic. I was like, what the hell does that mean? Damn, this is fucked. Ricky LaFleur, how we doing today, brown guy? I'm doing great, homie. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to Jake Paul's demise tomorrow night. That's what I'm looking forward to. But this is the Nick Diaz update. If you guys saw, these have been all the updates they've been posting. So we did look at this a few weeks ago. We got a video on it already, so I won't rehash it. But, all this stuff is here if you want to read it. Pause the video. 'Cause if you haven't seen it, I'll leave this up for you for a second. Okay? But that was just Nick, before and after, how he's looking now, how he was looking when he went in there. Put on a lot more weight. You feel me? And then this was just consent that BBJ Ninja Recovery had to post the photo in the first place because people were on his ass about posting it. So he posted the proof that he had consent to post it. Let's listen to this real quick.
Nick Diaz. I like squad, Ruben, Theo, and my family.
Ruben, Theo, and my family. That's pretty much what I heard. It could be wrong, but I heard Ruben, Theo, and my family take care of my house.
Take care of my house. I'm currently focused on my health, and I'll be home soon.
Okay. Shout out to you, Nick. This is like the normal Nick right here, in my opinion. So he looks good. I don't know what this is.
Snatch your heart out your body.
Oh, damn. So when they said Martin, that's Martin Sano, Martin the Spartan, who Nick got an opportunity in the UFC. You're kidding me, bro. You're kidding me. Martin Sano, the Spartan? Bro, this guy was supposed to be Nick's brother. He out here fucking Kayla and shit like that? That's dirty as fuck, bro. Nick gave this guy so much. Nick gave this guy so much, bro. Look at this scoundrel. Go get your own puss, homie. Shout out to Nick. I hope he's doing all right. He'll be back before we know it, boys. He'll be back before we know it. Oh my goodness gracious. We got K209X in the fucking chat right now. K209X, can you tell us what's going on? K209X, give us an update. Nick Diaz coming home. But what's going on with you, Spartan Sano, K? What's going on, K? What's going on, K? Drop it in the chat right now. Guys, we got K209 in the chat. This is the K209. Oh my goodness, K, I did stick up for you for one thing, but I do have a question about it. You're over here recording Nick Diaz's phone calls. Now, I think there might be a reason if he's going back and forth telling you he loves you one day, you could stay at his house, and then the next, he's kicking you out. I think that would be fair to record, but, they're alleging you're recording his fucking rehab calls. You feel me? Oh my God, I'm so excited right now. We got Kay in the motherfucking chat. She goes, I went to court trial. It's over. And Jose is mad that Nick spoke his wishes. Nick and I were both sworn in by the judge. Jose should mind his own business. Kay, can you give us a response? Kay, what is the word? Kay, what is the word right now? Yes, this is K209, Nick's girlfriend. The one defense I had for Kay, I already said it. But aside from that, Kay, what's the deal with Martin Sano? Kay's in the chat. What's the deal with Martin Sano? Okay, here's Kay. That video is a year old. I've spoken to Nick, said he is in duress, and it's like they're holding a gun to his head and making him do stuff like that video. You know what, Kay? Over here, we just care about Nick Diaz, and you guys are both claiming things. You're claiming you're on Nick's side. Jose's claiming he's on Nick's side. So what do we believe, Kay? Can you help us contextualize this a bit more? Or tell your side of the story. What's going on with Martin Sano? Please don't tell me he did Nick dirty. And then the restraining order as well. So Nick didn't reactivate the restraining order, and are you allowed to stay there, or what's the deal now? Are you living at Nick's house? Are you not living at Nick's house? But Kay saying this video is a year old. This one right here. Kay says this video is a year old.
Hey, I'm Nick Diaz. I like squad, moving.
Jose wasn't in the courtroom. All right, let us know more, Kay. Let us know more. But you know, I will say I have a hard time believing that his mom doesn't want his best interest. Like, why wouldn't his mom want his best interest? This is insane, Kay. You know, I've been following this story for like over a year. Ever since that video got posted of Nick shirtless lighting grass on fire. Kay, can you confirm, did you post that video? Was that you? Because people say that was you. You have an opportunity to clear your name on the stream. This will be a video in the future. So if you want to say anything, clear your name. I'm going to read all your chats out loud. I don't have a relationship with Nick's mom. I have a relationship with Nick. Okay, but apparently he's giving Ruben and his mom permission to kick you out. But you say that his mom is signing off on all that paperwork against his will. So I guess you're going to keep telling me that. But it's like, this is why it's confusing for us. Okay, does Jose have a relationship with Nick, by the way, or what's the deal with that? Because I do see some people saying, like, why doesn't Nick follow you and shit? But again, do you got control of Nick's social media? Did you unfollow him on there? There's a million questions here. There's a million questions. And Kay, you still haven't responded about Martin Sano. I need to know about Martin Sano. They're also accusing you of you know, having affairs with his friends now. Now, that's the General Nick Diaz. We are Team Nick Diaz. You cannot be doing that. So with that being said, Kay, let us know everything. We not judging. We just want to know what you got to say. We heard what Jose had to say, and I guess we're going to have to make up our own opinions. But let us know. And I really need to know about this guy, Martin Sano. Is he a fucking scoundrel or what? What's the deal there? Okay, so Kay says, no, he did not give them permission. He never even used my name in that video. They turned around and pushed all kinds of paperwork through the court without Nick's permission when the judge spoke to Nick. And what about Spartan Sano? Okay, can you let us know about Spartan Sano or these allegations that you're having nefarious affairs with his friends? But I mean, I mostly want to know about Spartan Sano. Like, why is Jose saying fuck Spartan Sano? And Nick on the phone from the facility said Ruben and his family are crazy. The judge dropped the restraining order and the eviction. No, I did read about that. I did read about that. Jose doesn't like Sano because Nick had to throw him out of his house. All right. I got you, Kay. I got you. Anything else you want to share with us? I gotta go. Talk to you later. Okay, Kay. I'll talk to you later. But feel free to hop in this chat anytime. Feel free to slide in the DMs if you want to relay any information to me. My DMs are open, Kay. Perry Punch on Instagram, X, YouTube. Okay? Tap in with me, Kay. Also, Kay, if you're in here still, my personal Instagram, Jacob Castro TV. Okay? Tap in with me if you want to give me any other info. At K209X. Okay, Kay. I'll slide in the DMs if you don't. If you don't slide in my DMs by the end of my stream, I'll slide into yours. I'll ask you more questions. Thanks for dropping in, Kay. I appreciate it. Okay? Thanks for giving us some information. I don't know who to believe, Kay. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I don't know who to believe. But I appreciate the information. I appreciate the transparency. Nice meeting you, Kay. It was nice to meet you.